Hi, and welcome back to our series of Moodle tutorials for Center teachers. The tutorial we just went through outlined the use of the resources menu through adding documents and web resources to your Moodle course. In this tutorial, we will look at the activities menu, where we will explore uploading assignments to your course. So let's start by turning the editing on in your course. For what we're going to be exploring now, let's go to the activities menu and take a look at your different options for uploading assignments. There are several assignment options that we'll look at, ranging from a journal type reflection to an electronic submission of work that your students will do through Moodle. So let's get started with some of these. So you can see that I'm back in my course, and you'll recognize a few of the documents that we posted in our last tutorial. But for this one, let's go ahead and specifically look at the Add an Activity menu and specifically some of your different assignment options. So when you drop down to assignments, notice that there's several that you have here. And let's go ahead and start with the advanced uploading of files. The thing that makes this feature different from the other assignment options is it allows students to upload multiple files and documents. You'll recognize the red asterisk fields as being the required fields, so let's go ahead and give this assignment a name and a description. With the name and description done, you next determine the dates this assignment will be available. So by scrolling down just a bit, set the start and end date, and be sure to notice the time. It's in military time, so take account for that. These fields are very easy to manipulate. Just by clicking the drop-down menus, you have the option of changing the dates and the month and the time and all of that. Then as we keep scrolling down, notice that you have an option to prevent late submissions. This is a handy feature, but think through, if you do not accept late features through Moodle, how are you going to get the work from your students? Will this be done through email, or are you going to open the assignment back up by going back up and changing the date and time that it was originally due? Anyway, just something to think about. As you scroll on down, you'll determine the grade. And again, it's just a drop-down menu. And then we get to the area of the advanced uploading of the files. I've mentioned before in another tutorial, unless you have a reason to change the file size, you might just go ahead and leave it as the maximum size allotted. Depending on the project that you'll have your kids do, I think you'll find it'll be handy for your students to have the option to post a larger file-sized assignment. As we keep working our way down here, allowing for deletion allows the students to delete the work and resubmit the assignment as long as it's within the due date that you originally allotted. And then we get to the maximum number of uploaded files. So here's where this particular module becomes very powerful. You can set this so that students can upload, well, anywhere from 1 to 20 files. So you might think about maybe collecting the graphic organizer for the product or their notes along with the final product. Anyway, you can adjust this according to how many documents you're expecting. So if I change mine to 5, and then the other things on here I think are pretty self-explanatory. Allow for notes is a place where students can submit something to you. The description, if you want an email alert or if you want to enable the send for marking button. Students will see this send for marking button when they post their work, and so it'll be an indicator to you that they have gone through and have decided that their assignment is in a complete enough format that it's ready for you to take a look at and mark up. But the other thing that I want to point out next to all of these, have you noticed the little question mark in the circle? This, when you click on that, it's going to open a short menu with the description, and sometimes that's a great way of getting a lot more information about a phrase that really makes no sense to you. But you can always play around with these settings and see how it impacts your course. But anyway, let's scroll to the bottom of this and save our changes and return to our course. So here's my assignment that I just entered under my westward expansion block here. I want to dive right in and take a look at the second assignment, and it's the one that's uploading a single file. So when we go into this, you'll recognize again your required fields and the dates and if you're going to submit, if you're going to allow for late submissions, the grading features, but then we get down to upload of a single file, and this really is the only thing that makes this different from the advanced uploading of files that we just looked at. There is only one option for students to upload, and that's that one file that you are expecting. So again, you can allow for student resubmission, an email alert to you, again the file size. So that's really the only thing that makes the uploading of a single file different from the advanced uploading of files. So I'm just going to cancel out of this to get back to our course homepage. And before we log in as a student to see what this looks like from the student perspective, let's go ahead and I want to show you an online text. So I'm going back to add an activity, going under assignments, and this time I'm going to select an online text. Okay, so in a nutshell, what online text does is it gives the students a journal sort of assignment, but because it's an assignment, you can give it a grade. So you'll notice the required fields, the name and the description. But in this case, the description field is where you will type the prompt for your text. You'll still notice the other options like the dates and the grading and the prevention. Oh my goodness, prevention of late assignments. But by giving this a title and the description, that's really what it is the kids see on this. So I'm going to pause this for a minute and type some of this in, and then we'll pick back up in a minute. Okay, so I have my assignment name. I've given my description of the very short prompt that the kids will see when they go to complete this assignment. And again, I have lots of options here of features for this particular assignment, but I'm just going to scroll to the bottom. I'm going to save and return to this course. And now notice that the kids will now see the reflection of traveling on the Oregon Trail. So I'm going to pause again. I'm going to log in as a student, and we will pick back up and look at this from how it is that students will see these different assignment options. So I've logged in as one of my students, and just like your course homepage, the students will see a similar homepage as well. Under their My Courses, they see all of the courses that they have been assigned to. So I'm going to click on our course homepage, and here's what it is that the students see. Notice that some of those files that I had hidden are obviously hidden here from the student view as well. So let's look quickly at the assignment from the student perspective. Let's start by clicking on the idea here where I'm going to submit several options to the teacher. So when I click on this, I'm going to upload my files, and you should recognize this upload page. So it's very similar to how we uploaded files into our course as well. So students here as well will click on the Add button. Make sure they are in the Upload a File area, and then they are going to browse for their work page. Oh my goodness, I am going to select something here, kind of for the sake of our example, and then I'm going to upload this file. And there it is. Once again, a nice visual. Students can see that what they thought was uploaded really is there. And then I'm just going to click Save Changes. Now, here's where students notice those send for marking options. So at this point, this has just been submitted as a draft. The student has the opportunity to go back in and re-edit the files and resubmit, or they can go ahead and click Send for Marking. I'm going to go ahead and just click Send for Marking so that we can get back in and see what it is that this does once you are ready to grade it. I'm going to continue through this. And let's go back to our home page, because before we get to the point of going back and looking at where you can find all of these, let's look quickly at this online text. So my reflection of the Oregon Trail was the one that I wanted to gives my kids an opportunity to put in some reflection here. So I can read the prompt. I'm going to click Add a Submission. And in red asterisk text, kids are going to get a place where it is that they can type their response to your prompt. And once they're done, they can just save changes. Says changes have been made. Of course, they have the option to edit that submission, but that was an option that we left set up when we set up this assignment. So quite simply, that's how students get in and submit or respond to different assignment options. All right, once again, I'm going to log out as the student, back in as the teacher so that we can see from the teacher perspective how all of these assignments come through. So I'm logged back in as my teacher account. I'm going to go back into my classroom, and now everything still looks the same. But this time when you click on the option for where it is that you wanted kids to submit their assignment, notice that it now is giving me an indicator that there has been an assignment that's been submitted. So now I can click on this assignment, and then I can see that it was George Washington that submitted it, and here is the document right here. When I click on this document, I get the option to open it. Remember, this is just kind of a nothing file that I posted here, but you're going to see that Word will open and it will launch that particular document. And then this also gives you the opportunity to go through and make any changes that you need to on the student work. And then if you are keeping grades in Moodle, which is a good way for kids to kind of keep up with what's going on, you can click the grade feature, assign the students a grade, give them some feedback in the feedback area, and you also can repose their file that they submitted to you. So here's a great way for you to mark up, maybe through a different font color or by adding comments into Microsoft Word. Save that document just on your desktop or somewhere where you're going to remember it, and then go back through and repost it. So now if I go back and re-add this, I can upload a file. I can browse to that place on my desktop. I can select my document that I have already marked up, saved, and am now going to repose back to the students. So now I can upload this, and in this particular situation, only the student that you have posted this to is going to see this when he logs back into his Moodle account. So then I can save those changes and then just keep working and grading in a similar manner from there. All right, back to the home page. I want to show you one more thing, and that is the where it is that you find the comments when students have posted through an online text. And in the same way, we're going to click that link of the assignment. Here is our link to show that one student has logged in, and then here is the text, all that gibberish that I typed, but here it is. And so now I can close out of this window. Again, you'll recognize the grade link. You'll recognize that I can go through and give a grade and give any feedback and then save those changes. So this is the end of this particular tutorial. What I would like for you to try to do now is to go back to your own Moodle course and play around with some of the assignment options. If you would like a student account to put into your Moodle course prior to enrolling all of your kids, please contact me and I will set up a generic account for you. In that way, you can toggle back and forth between your own teacher account and logging in as a student to see what they see, experiment with uploading of files, and the process of commenting and posting documents back to them.